Hello, Harry Potter fans in the house. All right, James and Oliver Phelps fans in the house. Here they are, James and Oliver Phelps.
Hello.
Come on now.
Hey guys.
Come on, you can do better than that. Yes, they're here. That's what I'm talking about.
That's cool, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Do you do warm up all the time?
I try to. I won't do cartwils though. I'll follow my butt.
Okay, all right.
Okay, all right.
Cool.
Guys, welcome. How you feeling?
Okay, yeah, really excited to be here.
You want to sit down? You want to stand up? It's up to you.
We'll sit down, forgive me if you want. Do you want to sit down?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, let's start sitting.
Okay, yeah.
Awesome. All right. Now, first and foremost, how do you feel being in Houston? Actually, you came to the right time because, in July, we know how it is, 115 degrees, and that's just without the humidity. I'm kidding. How you feeling? Have you been here before to Houston?
Yes, so I've been to Houston probably about 5 years ago or so.
5 years?
Yeah, it's a bit of a while ago now, and that was literally just traveling to see it.
Oh, wow.
So it's really cool to be able to come back. We actually really love coming to Texas anyway. We're actually talking about it outside because the thing we love about it is it doesn't apologise for being Texas.
Yeah, that's
which
true.
I like.
That is true.
So it's great to be back in the state and down here.
So wear your boots. If you come to Texas, you got to have boots.
I know.
You don't have boots yet?
Sure, I actually own 3 pairs of boots.
That's my man. All right.
Unfortunately, I'm moving house at the moment, and everything's in storage.
Oh, no.
And my boots and my hats are right at the back of the storage locker.
No.
And the only hat that I have got crumpled up. So I need to get a new one. I mean, that's okay.
We'll have some friends at a hat store who can hook you up with that.
Yeah, okay, great. That'd be fantastic.
I don't have any hats, but someone kindly gave me a...
Wait, why are you stripping?
Someone kindly gave me a
you don't have to stop.
So
I like the shirt.
Yeah, so I don't have boots, but
I love it. Does it say Texas on it?
It says don't mess with Texas.
Nice.
So, thank you very much for the person who gave
Now,
us
there are a couple of other women who prefer if you kept going. I have a feeling.
No.
For some
you don't
reason,
see that,
I'm just saying. Yeah. So how are you guys doing? What have you guys been up to? I mean, you guys are constantly traveling all the time, promoting so many wonderful things as, of course, the Weasley twins and Harry Potter all the time. But what else have you been up to, the two of you?
Silence.
Outside of playing golf, because I know you guys love golf, right?
Yeah, we love to play golf.
Yes.
We've been fortunate enough to do a couple of these this year, probably more than we have done ever. I think we've done
really
7 this year, maybe.
7? Seriously? I love that.
To us, it's quite a few. Yeah, so it's nice just being able to travel with that. We've got some stuff going on at home as well. But yeah, it's all just been good fun. We did a day on a horror film actually earlier this year, which we didn't realize it was a horror film until we wrapped.
Wait, I'm sorry, excuse me. Wait, you're on the film and don't know you're in a horror film.
We did the audition, and basically they gave us the scene of the script, and that was just the scene that we were in.
Right.
And to this day, I don't know what the film's about. But it is going to be very good. Apparently, I was speaking to one of the... I can say that. One of the guys who was working on the crew literally said, I did read the script, and it is absolutely amazing.
Oh, great.
So, yeah, it should be good fun when that comes out.
So as long as you're getting paid, I mean, that's really all that
Well, I mean, when we
I don't know about that either. I don't know anything.
When we find out the actual name of it, we'll share it. Yeah.
Okay.
But the cool thing about it was that we actually filmed... at Leafson or Warner Bros. Studios London, which is where we filmed Potter. And the soundstage we filmed this scene in, it was set in a 1960s London nightclub. That stage was actually where Weasley's Wizarding Wheezes joke shop was.
Oh, you're kidding.
So, yeah, it was quite cool, but I don't know has anyone here been to the studio tour? Right, okay, great. So there's a few people, right? So when we... describing now what the studios was like and what it's like now, a bit like outside, you got the Astrodome, and then you got the massive, brand new stadium right next door. That's like old studios, new studios. So it's very different. So it's cool to do it in a soundstage what didn't have a hole in the roof and netting on it to stop paint falling on you. But yeah, it was cool. It was like nostalgically, it was brilliant to be able to be there.
Now, remember, I have to remember here, weren't you guys like 14 when you started all of this? Actually 13 probably-ish, going to 14 when
we were 14,
auditions.
yeah.
14.
Yeah, we were 14.
This is crazy.
Yeah, so it was a long time ago now. Now I think about it, I feel old. Oh dear. But yeah, it was one of those things. It was sort of, for those of you who've never heard it, the story of us getting the parts. We, in a nutshell, this is a very condensed version of it. Mum found out that they were auditioning for the films. It was an open audition, so anybody could go for it. So we said, yeah, go on. It was a Thursday, so it meant missing science and maths and
And it was the end of the school year, so it was that time when you've done all your exams, teachers don't really care what's going on. It's bring a book and read it kind of thing.
Yeah. Today we're going to watch a film. Yeah. Anyway, so we went to this audition and we got there and they were auditioning for every part in the movie, which is, there's quite a few parts in the movie and a lot of people who wanted to be in it. So we realised that they give you like a little raffle ticket, and we realised that our wait would be about 2 hours or so. So we thought, okay, we'll find some clothes what looked similar because we don't really dress the same, and we realised we were the only identical twins there who weren't dressed the same. Which is a bit of a bad thing, really, when you're going for identical twins. So we got these new these shirts from over the road at a shop. Yeah, and then eventually saw the head casting director, coincidentally, who the next couple of days later invited us back to meet with the director and the producer. And then that happened about 3 or 4 times, and then they eventually gave us the part. That was in the summer of 2000. Wow. So yeah, it was a whirlwind weekend.
Did it change your life forever?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, just a wee bit. Just a wee bit. I mean, and so you, of course, are traveling all of the time, talking about, of course, the Weasley twins and being who you are. Is there anything of their characteristics that you just gravitate towards yourselves?
Yeah, I think so. I think because we were always a bit mischievous, but nowhere near the confidence level that Fred and George have got. I think the characters rubbed off, if anything, on us a bit more so. But yeah, we do like to have a laugh, and especially laughing at things is very much our MO, I suppose, isn't it? Yeah.
Now, be honest, did you ever do any practical jokes on the set? Outside of the movie?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
of course.
It's your own kid.
Yeah, and we were always the people they'd look at.
Yeah,
have you done it?
So they blame you regardless if somebody else
So if you're going to get blamed, you might as well do it. Yeah.
But we could also get away with it because we could literally say, well, we're method actors, so we're in character here. You need to...
Yes!
This is our craft. This is what we need to do. There were quite a few that we did throughout the years. One of my favourites, actually, was with Bonnie Wright on the second movie. And so opposite the studios, they were building a load of new office buildings. And we had these little walkie-talkies that we bought from the local supermarket just for something to mess around with. And we figured out the frequency for the work site opposite.
And for those younger people, this is before digital, so you had to actually tune in.
You had to find the
frequency. Yeah.
What did you guys do?
Well, we told the guys at 1 o'clock. Hi guys, great day's work. All go home now.
No, you did not.
To which you could hear the equivalent of the forum. Who the hell says no? No, you're staying now. But we could see them going on the other side.
That's brilliant.
Although his language was a bit stronger than who is this. Yeah, he wasn't very happy.
Oh.
But it was great because we could see it, and I bet if he thought there's a load of kids over the road pretending to be witches and wizards telling people to go home, he wouldn't believe them. So. Yeah, feel good.
This is true. Is there any practical joke you wish you could have pulled while on set?
To be honest, we got away with a lot of them.
Yeah.
Is there any others you can share with us?
What I wish we'd got away with was when we played cricket on Privet Drive. I wish that we'd got away with not breaking one of the windows.
You did not.
Again, it was just like in real life. If you're playing in the street and a kid smashes the ball through a window, everyone just runs.
It wasn't. It wasn't. We're talking like number 49 or something down the road. It wasn't like the Dursleys' house.
Oh, okay.
So it's all right.
It didn't really matter then, right?
No, they wouldn't mind. We did. So we did. Yeah, we managed to have a lot of fun like that, and. Yeah, good fun.
That's always a good thing. That's cool. And now, if you guys, I know these two like to move around a lot when they're talking and interacting. So while we go to the next question, I want some of the audience members, if you have questions, let's go ahead and start lining up because I know there are going to be a lot of people. And so go ahead and line up while we ask some more questions real quick and get to that in just a second.
I'm just going to add one thing. Sorry.
Yes, please do.
We're only going to do one question on the big sleep of Fred. But it's such a morbid thing to talk about. So that's the only thing. So if anyone's got a question on it, we'll do one, and then after that, it's all
make it a good one, right?
Yeah.
So in other words, I will not ask the question. I'll let one of you ask the question because that would be the one, and you'd be very upset at me. So just saying. All right. Switch gears just slightly before we get to some of the questions about, of course, your involvement with Harry Potter and the amazing series and books and everything. You guys are very involved in charity work too. and you have been doing something, I think, for one of the cancer hospitals or something like that for kids, or something. I think you kind of help with.
There's
that.
a couple, yeah. So there's a few. We're very
teenagers
fortunate.
or something.
Yeah, we're very fortunate, really, to have an ear, should we say, of so many people, so we're able to talk about it. So there's three main charities we support. There's Help Harry Help Others, which is a brain cancer and a cancer drop-in centre in our home city. There's the Teenage Cancer Trust, which is exactly what it is. And there's a charity called Well Child. So if you could see this girl here in the front is wearing a Double Trouble t-shirt. Do you want to stand up and be a model?
Show it off.
Right, so a few years ago, do you want to come at the front?
Nice.
So a few years ago...
See, that's what happens.
Sorry, you didn't know you were getting
shirt.
involved in this, yeah. It's like a comedy show. You sit on the front row, you're in trouble. There we go. Okay, so shirt and shirt. Thank you very much. And so we sold these shirts, and the money went to pay for a nurse who goes into the houses of families who've got children who need special care, so they can live a relatively normal life at home. So the money raised by that went to them. So, it didn't cost or mean anything, or it meant a lot, but it didn't stop us from doing it.
Yeah.
It just shows there's a lot more good than bad in the world, and we like to project that to people.
Most certainly, and you do it well. Another reason why I bring these things up, because you have such a huge fan base, and people like to hear some of the things that you guys are doing, and hopefully they can kind of emulate that and spread that to others along the way. So thanks for sharing that.
Although I did get roped into something which I thought I was going to regret deeply. So about 6 months ago, I was asked by a friend of mine who's doing a bike ride for his hospice in London. Would you mind doing a bike ride with him and a few friends? Yeah, this is where James says, and rightly so, he's got a lot more to give than I do for this type of thing. When I heard about it, it was no. I didn't really think about the ramifications of what I was agreeing to. So eventually it was, so do you want to, we're going to ride the equivalent of Kilimanjaro in the Alps.
Wait,
on a bike.
It's a stage of the Tour de France.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So 2 stages on the Tour de France. So I was thinking, 6 months, I could do that. Yeah, why not? Sure. I probably did about 6 bike rides before this thing.
Just 6.
I get out, because I was traveling as well, so I couldn't really, I was on the Watt bike, but that doesn't really count. So no. I turn up, and then I'm flying out there, and I learned we're actually split up into 3 groups. There's the Everest group, so guys who are going to do the equivalent of Mount Everest, Kilimanjaro, or the Matterhorn. And the Matterhorn's supposed to be the easier one, and I was like, okay, I'll do that. So we're flying out there, and then when we get to I don't really know anyone else who's doing this. So we get out there, and there's literally 40 guys and girls come out with their own bike. I'm renting mine from down the road. So literally, I got there thousands of dollars worth of bikes, and I was like, oh, okay. Go to check in, pull out, oh yeah, I'm doing the Kilimanjaro one, so I'm actually doing the middle one. So at first I thought, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this, but I have to say it was the best thing I've ever done, because I was able to do it, and even though, which normally I'm quite a positive person I can do that, but I genuinely did not think I was going to be able to do 4 days of solid riding, but it was really enjoyable. I've already signed, the first thing I did when I finished was sign up for next year, because I loved it. So if anyone wants to join us on the Big Mountain Challenge, you're more than welcome. But again, it reminded me that you can do stuff if you keep plugging away at it, and I really felt really rewarded for doing it. So it was good fun, and also the hospice raised over £100,000.
Wow!
That week, so
congratulations on that. That's nice. All right, let's get to some questions real quick. Ma'am, go ahead and start.
If you could play, or for both of y'all, if you could play a different character in the Harry Potter series, what character would that be?
George.
Okay, well, I mean, besides that.
Yeah, he was the best one. I thought you were going home. I think if you could be... There's always some characters on the side, maybe a crumb or a creature.
Any particular creature?
No, creature.
Oh, creature. Oh,
yeah, the house elf, yeah.
I thought you said just a regular creature.
Just a creature.
Random creature.
Yeah.
What? There's so many. Okay, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Question over here, sir.
Hi. So, if you could travel in time to any one day on set, which one would it be?
Very good.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Oh, there are a couple. Do you mean to actually relive it, or to watch?
Or just be there again, omnipresent, or be in it again, whichever one.
I'm going to say probably in the first movie, either on King's Cross when we first see Fred and George. I'd like to do that now with my voice now. Because it's it's like I've done a load of helium before, like my voice was so high. And I'd also actually like to go back and see the first time I walked onto the Great Hall, because it was exactly like, you know, in the film when the kids walk on and it's all up. That is literally what we were like walking onto set for the first time. So
really?
That would be pretty cool to actually witness that again.
I think mine would be the day or 2 days, should I say, when we were shooting the Yule Ball in the fourth film, because there was so much what went on, what didn't make the film. So we did we had like we were doing dance lessons for 3 weeks beforehand anyway. Yeah, and for the whole thing, so we did this whole routine, and in the movie, that's made
all
it in.
You saw.
Yeah, that's all you saw.
I remember.
So
what does that say about your dancing, though? That's
Hey, you're not in it.
Oh, no, that's true.
And then, so I watched all that being done as well. And then afterwards, there was a concert by the Weird Sisters. And that was awesome. There was we were in a mosh pit. You had Warwick Davis crowd surfing.
Oh, no way.
It was awesome. So to just watch that back, but we didn't know what was going on. So they had, if you look at the set in the background, there's all these gramophone speakers and everything all mounted, instead of amplifiers, they've got these old school stuff. And they'd have smoke and sparks flying out of them and stuff like that. So to watch that back, that would be awesome.
Just a whole party for everyone.
Yeah, it was,
okay, if they're staying up, I'm staying up.
Yeah.
All right, get into the groove on this. All right, thank you for your question, sir. Bam.
Okay, so I know personally, and I know we also talked about this in the last panel, Harry Potter has helped me and also a lot of people through a lot of struggles, emotionally and mentally. And I know something else that helps me a lot is humor, and George and Fred are very humorous. So say someone around you is sad, what is your best joke to get them to cheer up?
Each one has to have a different joke.
Don't fucking say it.
Oh!
Let me think of one. Huh?
Maybe not that kind of joke.
Yeah, maybe not that one, no. I don't know, I tried one the other day, and it just got oh, gosh. Basically, my mate was saying to me, he went for a job, and it didn't turn out, and he was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I was like, I don't know. Well, changed it long way around. So my neighbour's just got 2 dogs. One's called Amiga and one's called Rolex. Yeah, they're watchdogs. That was a much better response than he gave me. So yeah, that's about as good as you're going to get from me, I'm afraid. Yeah. Come on, what you got?
Come on, you got one in there somewhere. Yes.
I don't know. A man walked into a bar and went, "Ow."
That's it?
That's it. I'm going to go. Yeah.
Okay.
You can tell that they gave us their own material to use in the films. Yeah.
It's perfect. All right. Over here, ma'am.
Hey, guys. Okay, so if there was ever a Harry Potter and Game of Thrones crossover, which character or characters would you guys want Fred and George interacting with?
Well,
the dragons.
Yeah, I was going to say they love dragons. Yeah, so, yeah, definitely one of those ones. Yeah,
That was easy.
That was easy. Yeah.
How cool would that be?
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. Go ahead.
Hi. So, as she said earlier, the Weasley twins have actually helped me through a lot of things. I love the humor in the books and in the movies, so the twins have helped me through a lot. And I'm going to be the one question about the death scene. I'm sorry in advance.
That's the only question. That's it. Okay, go ahead.
I've read so many things about how you two acted during the death scene, even though, Fred was... James and Oliver, you guys reacted very emotionally to how it happened. So how did that, actually happen?
Yeah, we've seen those as well, and most of them are lies. Yeah, I saw a great meme. It was Abraham Lincoln saying everything you read on the internet isn't happen. That's about it. We kind of we only gave ourselves, I think, the day before it happened, I asked Julie Walters, what's the best way to get into character for that, or to get emotional? And she said, if you get into character or into that mindset before you leave your dressing room, trailer, whatever it is, don't talk to anyone, just get straight on set and do it. So I was like, okay, cool. And then the day of it, I was speaking with David Yates, and he said, try and relate it to something that's happened in your own life. So you're trying to put them all together, So you get on set, and I'm already Getting there. And then this makeup lady comes up to me and she's like, and blows a load of eucalyptus powder in my face. So now you are going to cry. Like, there's tears coming down everything. So we did about, I think, 2 or 3 takes on that, not many at all. And that was it. And then I was told that it was going to be a closed set, which basically means it's literally the director, the cameraman, and the actors. However, that was true, except this part of the Great Hall is filled with loads of people. And because it was towards the end of filming, there's people getting their final guest tours in. There's all this sort of thing. So there was a lot going on. But we did a couple of takes on that. Left James asleep on the floor, on the stretcher, and went to lunch. So that was kind of it. It was one of those weird days. Yeah.
I think, for like the sort of different camera angles, I was literally asleep. When I can sleep anywhere, and I actually did fall asleep. But then when they're doing Rupert's one, I was trying to make him laugh because I'm not very good at like morbid situations. So like he was like looking at me, I was like.
I don't think they saw your face, the face that you just made. Okay. All right. And no more questions on that subject. Okay. Ma'am.
Hi. So my sister and I, we met you guys earlier. We're identical twins, and we've done some pretty crazy things where we like stand in for each other in just real life situations. Some are legal, some are not so legal. And I am not going to tell you about the illegal ones, but one of the legal-ish ones was in high school. She took a math quiz for me. We had the same math teacher, but different periods, and I didn't know we were going to take a test. And so she told me, and she was like, okay, we'll go to the bathroom, we'll change clothes really quick, and she went and took my math test.
Did you
pass? The really hilarious thing, of course.
Yeah, okay.
So the hilarious part is now we are both high school math teachers. Oh. We do not tell our students, so if you happen to be in any district near us, do not put this on the internet.
What's your sister doing right now?
we aren't friends with our students. That's illegal also. Okay. So I was just asking if you guys have done anything crazy that you can share that's not truly illegal, I guess. You've done this.
Share the illegal one too if you want.
Being twins.
No, I'm teasing.
Of when we've swapped anywhere, do you mean? Or
did you swap? Like, did one of you guys go to the door to meet the other girl? Like, you're married, right? So, did you guys ever trick your wife?
No.
I mean,
no.
Whoa!
That definitely never happened. No.
I tricked her husband in the past.
No, that definitely didn't happen.
To be honest, we don't normally switch around in that regard. I pretended to be him at a hotel, so the bill goes on his room and not mine, like that kind of thing.
No, he did, but it was when we were filming, and Rupert was with us as well at the hotel, and so they met in my room, and it's one of those automated. So I've already got this bloody big bill on my room anyway. And then Rupert comes into with James, and they're like chatting away, and it's one of these automatic mini bars. So you take it out, and literally Rupert takes out a bottle of beer, then a bottle of champagne, and just keeps pressing the thing on it. So I was just like looking. And then trying to tell the concierge downstairs, or the guy when I'm checking out, right, that who looked like me wasn't me.
Yeah.
My friend actually did that, and he said, well, what's your friend's name? I said, can you put it on his room? But Rupert's got an alias, and it's something like, I don't know, Mickey Mouse or something random like that.
It's Mickey Mouse, so you said, no, it's Mickey Mouse did the...
Yeah, so this guy's looking at me going, and he's in Switzerland or somewhere like that, and the guy's there going, American Express? Like, that's what he said. Like, yeah, so sometimes it backfires a lot. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was wondering, what were some of your favorite lines you got to say throughout the films?
My favorite one for the whole thing is mischief managed. So I think it sums up the character as well, and it's also a fun thing to say. So, and people who know, if that makes sense. So it's just quite a cool thing to have.
Love it.
Morning. I mean, maybe because it was the easiest one to remember. Also the most awkward, because because you've got Harry and Ginny kissing in the background. But actually, just before that day, I was watching randomly. I was watching Looney Tunes because that's what's on in the middle of the day. Yeah, and there was a scene when Bugs Bunny's like creeping in the background and something's going on. I thought that'd be wicked to do. So if you watch that scene in the background, I'm actually doing that. So, yeah, watch that back.
That's good. All right, thank you. All right, ma'am.
Hi. Just a question for both of you guys. What was it like filming Harry Potter, just for both of you guys in general?
It kind of, I know it sounds bad, it became normality. Like our normal week would be Sunday night, go from home to the hotel. We stayed in like this service apartment in a nice place, good fun. And then, go to the studios, film Monday to Friday, come home Saturday morning, most of the time. And that was kind of normality to us. So all of our friends knew that we just went to work. And the funny thing is that most of certainly our schoolmates didn't get the whole Potter thing. They probably do now, but at the time, even when like the 7th film was coming out, they still didn't get what a big deal it was. Right. I remember a friend of ours came to one of the premieres with us. It was one of the international press tours we went on, and I said, "Lee, do you want to come away?" And he was like, "Yeah, okay, mate." Yeah, thinking, I don't know what he thought we were going to do, but he gets there, and there's people who've been camping outside for about 14 hours or something like that. They get there and they're just like, he's just like, it's quite big actually, isn't it? This, yeah. But he came on the tour with us, so we came to about 6 or 7 different stops, and then by the end of it, he was like trying to speak to people, going, "Yeah, I'm in the films. And he asked someone who he should be, and they said, "Oh, you should be such and such." She's like, "Okay, got the name." And then we were doing like a press interview, and he asked if we could introduce him in the films. So we're like, "I don't know if we should, but okay." So this is Lee. Who are you, Lee, in the films? He's like, "Stan Shuntspike." Do you know the old man who drives the night bus? He didn't know what that character was. So no.
Well, thank y'all so much.
All right. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I wanted to know, after the movies, did you get to keep any of your costumes or props?
Legally, no. Costumes, no, they took those away, and which is a shame because some of them were actually tailor-made. All the suits that the Weasleys, Fred and George wore after number 6, so 6, 7, and 8, they were all tailor-made to us. They actually had this cool designer come over from France, take our measurement. So they're actually proper tailored to us. But now I think some of them are on the traveling exhibition, some are in the studio tour in London and other places. And then props-wise, they took our wands away.
No.
Which was the one thing that we would want. No, like the one thing we wanted.
Yeah.
And they were like, I remember on the last day of filming, I'd already planned in my thing. I thought, right, I can get this into these trousers and I can be in my dressing room within 5 seconds. Like, no one's going to know. And if you walk off set and Gary, the prop guy, is there going, "Wands." Because everybody had the same idea, and it was going to be and it was a shame because that was the one thing that I wanted to keep of anything. That would be it. So I just had to make do with basically what you could take in your costume was in the legal answer. It was not in the legal answer, but the truthful answer. So in the joke shop, because we had like these cool big suits with like long tails on it, I got a Weasley's Weasley's bag. So it's like in. Skiving snack box sweets, gone. But other than that, and Gringotts coins, that was the other one. But they made about 200,000 of those, so they're not that rare. But yeah, so the boring answer is no. But the fun answer is kind of we did. Yeah. You don't work for Warner Brothers, do you? No. Okay.
Thank you.
Don't tell anybody. That's what he's saying. Okay, ma'am.
Hi, nice to meet you. So I was wondering if you weren't people, but instead you were rooms in a house, what room would you be? Like, I'd be an unused parlor room.
Do you know, I've never been asked that question.
Yeah, it's a really funny one, yeah. I would be...
I'd be the garden shed, because I like gardening. There's a lot of useless stuff going on in there.
I would be... Actually, no, because we kind of have been part of a house or part of a room before. I'd be there with a big hat doing this outside.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ma'am, over here.
Hi. It's not really a question, but 5 years ago today, I went to my first ever Comic-Con, first ever panel, and it was y'all. So I just felt it kind of came like full circle, and I just wanted to say hi again. So.
Oh, hello. Hey, thanks for coming back.
I just got here, so I didn't want to like re-ask a question. So sorry.
You can ask a question.
Yeah.
It's fine. Go.
You're on the spot now.
Do
Yeah.
it now. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. If you had to try like an actual Birdie's Beans like flavor, like an actual bar flavor, like I know there's the flavors, but if like 100% like in Harry Potter like made you do whatever, like which one would you want to try? I don't know. It's just what came to mind.
You know, the
I'm
weird
so
thing
sorry.
is, that's a really normal question coming from the back of what type of room would. I think so. Probably like I suppose it's like a bit of a pudding. Well, no, it's called a Yorkshire pudding. So it's like a little. I don't know. How would you describe it? It's made of flour and milk. Yorkshire pudding. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much that's it. Yeah, Yorkshire pudding. Yeah.
And one more thing. I just got back from Australia, and the first 2 days that I was there, because they have Harry Potter on Netflix, literally just downloaded it, and my sister got mad at me because I did not want to leave the hotel room because I was like, I am binging this.
You should have saved it for the flight. That
You
would've been
know, halfway through the flight, it was like, you're no longer in this zone, and it kicked me off, so.
Right, oh, never mind.
But
never
thank you,
mind.
guys.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Young man, your turn.
Do you play Fortnite?
It's a good question.
Yeah. I've only played it like 2 or 3 times. My next door neighbor, his son is way too good at it, and he's only like 12. So I tried to play him, got my ass handed to me, and put it back
I
down.
want to challenge him to a 1v1.
What's that, mate?
I want to challenge him to a 1v1 then.
Get James, because he's not going to be any worse than me. Yeah.
No, I don't play Fortnite for the simple reason I played Red Dead Redemption 2, and amazing game. But my wife literally banned me from the PlayStation after that because it came to a point where I was going just to take the horse around for a little bit.
So, as they say, happy wife, happy
exactly,
life.
yeah. So,
All right. Thank you, young man. Appreciate the question. Ma'am?
Hello. So you talked about the scenes in the Yule Ball that were filmed but never made it into the movie. Do you guys have other scenes that you filmed that you loved that we've maybe not seen or heard about?
I can't remember. There was a couple of things we did. I remember there was one, only because I was watching the first movie a couple of weeks ago. I was around my godson's house, and he's 6, and he's just started really getting into it. And he had it on, and we were watching it. He was saying, "So when you filmed that, was this here?" I was like, "Yeah, no, this is like really different to watching Fireman Sam with you." Anyway, and he was asking about it. He asked me the same thing. And there's a scene in the Quidditch match, and there was a part where I fly over, and we filmed it on the green screen. I fly over, and then one of the Slytherin guys launches a ball at the back of my head, and I'm knocked down and fly off and everything, which I was really looking forward to. And then I remember the first time I watched it in the film, I was like, oh, didn't make it. Yeah.
well, no, didn't they have to? I think they had to dub down the violence, especially in the Quidditch, because that was putting the age rating up. So they had to make it a bit less so violent.
So you were too violent?
Well, I don't know, because Angelina Johnson gets rammed into the side of the stage.
Yeah, but I think it's done on like a point system. You're allowed 3 hits in a Quidditch match, otherwise it goes to like a 12.
Good to know.
Can you imagine that job? You have to sit there and like, tick it. Yeah,
no.
All right, thank you for your question, ma'am. All right, go ahead.
How was it acting in Harry Potter? That's it.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was awesome because we got to play the characters where it seems so many people wanted to be able to play. We were able to have a laugh. We could smile in nearly every scene, especially in the later films when things are getting a bit dark. One thing you'll probably see is a lot of the time is Fred and George were a bit serious, but then there'll be a smirk. There's always thinking there's something else going on because that's what the characters are. They're very driven characters, but they're very much like don't take stuff too seriously. So even when they're launching the joke shop, and starting a business could be a bit of a stressful time, they're more interested in just like pushing everything. Their brother's asking for something, right, we're going to up the price on that for you. So they were really, really cool characters to be able to play. And the best thing is that when we go out, and about and people recognize us, they see us as the good guys. So they'll talk to us, they'll chat to us, which isn't the same for other people.
I was actually having a drink with Tom Felton a couple of months ago, and a guy came over to us at the bar and he said to me, like, I'd love to buy you a drink. Not you, you're a bad guy.
Aww. That's sad. Thank you very much for your question. All right, ma'am.
Okay, this is probably a lame question, but what was the funniest thing that happened to you on set?
There were a couple of funny occasions. The thing is, sometimes we just got the giggles. And you know when that happens and it's impossible to stop. So and if there was Oliver, Rupert and myself together, that would happen pretty much every day at some given time. The worst one I can remember was in the 5th movie when the room of requirement is discovered. And the camera shot is literally a pan across all the cast, and they're like, oh. And it would always fall on Oliver, Rupert and myself, and someone would just go,
and we're at the end of the line as well. If you watch it, yeah.
So by the end of it, it was literally like just look somewhere else. Like look at, hold your breath.
And there was another one as well. Like that same thing happened on the 3rd movie when Harry is, or is it the 2nd movie? No, 3rd movie. It's after a Quidditch match, and they're all looking around Harry, and he wakes up and he's in the infirmary, and everyone's around him. But that took way longer than it should have done.
I kept getting cramp.
There was loads of people because to cramp over the camera type thing, and we were around there. But at the same time, someone would be there going, "Oh no, I can't. I need the loo," or something like that. Someone would say something silly, and it just got more and more silly. So yeah, I think that proved the theory never worked with pets or children. Yeah.
We were 21 at the time. But
I love it. All right, thank you so much. All right, ma'am, you have a question?
Yes, so there have been a lot of Harry Potter questions, but kind of going a little bit away from that. We know that Harry Potter is like this massive thing, this massive franchise. So if you guys could be in any other really big kind of franchise and maybe it hadn't been Harry Potter, which one would you be in and why?
Ooh, really big one. Like big. Big everywhere. I really like The Crown on Netflix because I'm quite history buff. Something like that would be cool. Yeah.
The only thing that came to my mind then was the Lego movie.
To be who?
A yellow guy, I guess.
That was great. Thank you so much, ma'am. Appreciate it. We're getting tight on time, so we only have an opportunity for a couple more questions. So, ma'am, go ahead.
Hi. So tonight, Houston has an important baseball game going on.
That's true.
Astros versus Yankees. So my question is, what's it like since, if I'm correct, y'all are on the opposite football? Like y'all have
proper football.
Yes,
yeah.
Proper football.
But use your foot. Yeah.
What's it like being in the opposite team?
Sorry.
Y'all
I totally interrupted your question there. Sorry, what was that?
What's it like being in in two different, rooting for two different football teams?
Right, yeah. So for those who don't know, yes. Oliver and I support. There's two teams in our city where we're from, and we both support each. So I support Birmingham, he supports Aston Villa, and they don't get on. But Aston Villa are far better than my team.
Yeah, so, it's true. It's true. So no, it's awesome. It is really cool. Yeah, I suppose it's just watching them play well as well. That's really cool. But I mean, like you say, with the big thing with the city today, especially with the baseball game going on, we love to see local sports wherever we are, whatever it is, because I think that's where you see the true sense of the town. So, especially if they're doing big. So on Thursday night at the hotel bar, they were watching the game. And the place was just buzzing with excitement and everything like that. So I'm really excited to be able to watch it tonight with all the locals, and nice. Hopefully you guys will get to the World Series.
Yeah. Thank you.
Nice. All right. Well, hello there. Go ahead and ask your question.
Which movie was your favorite? The Sorcerer's Stone, or in London, the Philosopher's Stone, the Chamber of Secrets, the Prisoner of Azkaban, the Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, or Deathly Hallows. Which movie was your favorite?
Part 1 or 2?
Part 1 or 2?
Oh, come on. No, I'm joking. You did really well. You remembered way more than I would on that one there.
Prisoner of Azkaban would be.
Why?
Which one was yours?
Mainly because I was reading The Prisoner of Azkaban when we got the part. And you know the smell of a book?
Yes.
You know that smell? Whenever I smell that smell now, I think of when I was reading the book when we went for our audition.
I love that. Sensory memory. What about you?
The Deathly Hallows. Yeah.
Why?
Part 1. I'd always wanted to have a battle wound in all of them.
Oh.
So when I got my ear lopped off, that was one of them, because we were able to really make it all gory. And actually, the first test they did, they had it really gory. Like they had it literally hanging off. It was
the ratings guy was like,
yeah,
no,
they were like, they literally said we can't do that, because it was, there was bits of like skull on the side of it, and it was
so cool.
And they were saying more blood, more blood. But yeah, so in the end of it, it was more just like a hole with a load of singed hair on it stuff. Yeah.
We're going to have to stop with questions because we're going to have to wrap up, but I do have one final question for you. If you could go back in time and tell your younger selves about where they would be today, what would you have told them?
So my younger self I still am, but I was a huge space nerd. So I would say you would be in Houston and you're going to go to the Houston NASA.
Perfect answer. Perfect answer.
I'm hoping to go there on this trip, so I cannot wait to go and check that out. But also just to travel the world and meet all you guys is really, really cool. So thank you so much for making us feel so welcome here.
Yeah. What about you?
I would say to my younger self, I wouldn't prepare him.
Just ignore him.
Because that's the excitement of it. That's the excitement of it, because we've kind of just rolled with it, and I think that's kept us not knowing what's on the horizon. It's just made us be a lot more embracive of whatever we are, because I'm very much this type of thing where people are almost planning too much in advance. So you're either thinking too much about the past, so you're not seeing in front of you, or you're looking way in front of you. Is one really philosophical way to finish with.
Is this what you think of in jet lag?
I'm lying in bed at night thinking. So today, my main thing is just embracing, having fun with all you guys, and just enjoying the moment. Live for the moment, not for tomorrow.
And we're going to end on that. Thank you so much, James and Oliver Phelps, everyone.
Thank you very much, guys.
Themselves. Thank you, guys.
This is Goku. Thanks for watching. And remember, don't forget to subscribe. Yeah!